Lewis Hamilton has just dropped a bombshell, one so unexpected, so brutally honest, it may have flipped the entire script on Ferrari's escalating crisis. As the Formula One paddock swirls with rumors of Fred Vasseur's imminent exit, and names like Christian Horner and Antonello Coletta dominate backroom conversations, Hamilton has stepped into the spotlight. But he's not playing the game with vague remarks or polished PR soundbites. No, what he said slices straight into the heart of the chaos ripping through Maranello. And that's exactly what makes this moment so explosive. While the media circles like vultures and pressure mounts with every lackluster race result, Hamilton hasn't chosen silence. He's taken a defiant, crystal-clear stand. What he just revealed doesn't just threaten Vasseur's position, it could alter the entire trajectory of Ferrari's 2025 campaign. But why now? What does Hamilton know that we don't? And what does it bode for the behind-the-scenes power struggle consuming the world's best racing team? Don't flinch. Don't blink. Because what you are about to hear is not just another headline. It's not fluff. It's the raw, unvarnished truth behind Ferrari's closed doors. This is the real drama, naked. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in. Because what Hamilton just said might be the most important thing you'll hear all season. Lewis Hamilton is not a man who crumbles under pressure. He's endured controversy, carried the weight of history, and battled through adversity with a calm that few athletes in any discipline can match. But what he just revealed about Fred Vasseur, the man now fighting to keep his grip on Ferrari's leadership, might be his boldest public statement yet. Right now, as Ferrari is battered by internal unrest, power plays in the boardroom, and a relentless media storm, Hamilton has done more than just speak up. He's issued something far deeper, an ultimatum cloaked in loyalty. The whispers began quietly, but now they're roaring. Winless in the first 10 2025 races, Ferrari was in disarray. Trust in Vasseur was disintegrating. In the boardroom, doubts stacked up. On the track, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were visibly fuming. Strategy calls were nervous. Technical progress stumbled. McLaren surged ahead. Red Bull dropped off the pace, just enough to enable Ferrari to maintain the illusion of being second best. But under that glinting veneer, storms were building, and there was the early leak. Ferrari had approached Christian Horner clandestinely. When that failed, they went to Antonello Coletta, a house figurehead out of their endurance department. And just as the hurricane was threatening to get hopelessly out of control, Hamilton stepped in and shut the whole thing down. Asked directly about the Vasseur rumor, Hamilton didn't dodge. He didn't shimmy. He didn't use supporter-friendly platitudes. Rather, he let the following slip. Fred's the reason I'm here in this team. I like working with him. I would like Fred to be here. I think he's the man to take us to the top. That was no sycophancy. That was a statement. A message, delivered to Ferrari's boardroom, the fans, and those scheming behind closed doors. Hamilton has staked his final, most ambitious chapter, his Ferrari legacy, on one man. That man is Fred Vasseur. The stakes, earth-shattering. Hamilton's Ferrari move was not a whim or an increase in pay. It was a duration mission, a trust, vision, and unity-driven commitment. And if that trust is broken, if Vasseur is removed, then all of what Hamilton is trying to build begins to disintegrate. Ferrari might be ready for change at the top of the company, but Hamilton's message is unambiguous. Count me out of that plan. He's not asking for a do-over. He's asking for stability, consistency, and he wants Fred Vasseur as the project designer. And yet the timing could not be worse. Ferrari has not been performing well, still searching for their first win. No podiums at all for Hamilton so far. The SF25 has seen glimpses of speed at times and others, but far more often it's been underlining its weaknesses. Floor damage in Canada, setup confusion, tire wear, qualifying unreliability, and all this with two of the best drivers on the grid. The frustration isn't just visible, it's broadcasted through team radios. body language, and headlines. So when Hamilton says it looks a lot worse outside than it probably is, on the inside, he's doing more than damage control. He's trying to hold the center while everything around him fractures. It's a form of leadership few drivers take on. Especially in public, he's not just defending Vasseur. He's defending the entire team against itself, against doubt, against impatience, against the temptation to start over again. Because, let's face it, Ferrari's pattern is well-known impatience, resets revolving doors in management. It's a cycle that's defined the post-Schumacher era, and every time a project is scrapped early, it delays the rebuild even more. Hamilton knows that Vasseur knows. That does Ferrari's upper management. The timing of Hamilton's words is not coincidental with rumors swirling and the media turning up the pressure. His voice carries weight. He's telling the world, and more importantly, the men in suits behind the curtain, that this time Ferrari must resist its old instincts, that Vasseur deserves the time to finish what he started, and if they don't listen, the consequences could be seismic. Because while Hamilton's declaration was calm, its message was razor-sharp. If Fred goes, Lewis might follow, not immediately, but spiritually, the unity, the belief, the trust that all disappears. And in a team already walking a tightrope, that kind of fracture could be fatal. So yes, what Hamilton just revealed about Fred Vasseur is nothing short of insane, not because of how dramatic it sounded, but because of what it means. It's a driver putting everything on the line. It's a message that says stability over chaos, loyalty over politics, trust over pressure, in an era of F1 where drivers play diplomat more than ever. Hamilton just played kingmaker, and whether Ferrari chooses to listen might determine not just Vasseur's future, but their own. So don't go anywhere, because what's unfolding now isn't just a turning point for Fred Vasseur. It's something far deeper. Political ground under Maranello is shifting, and for once it's not happening behind closed doors. It's happening live out in the open, in front of fans, media, rival teams, and most importantly, two of the most high-profile drivers in the sport. Lewis Hamilton's statement wasn't just supportive, it was strategic when a seven-time world champion publicly defends a team principle under fire. He's not just showing loyalty, he's drawing a line, he's sending a warning. Hamilton isn't just another driver passing through Ferrari, he's the face of their future, and now he's effectively said, if Fred goes, everything changes. And that raises terrifying questions for Ferrari's top brass, because if they're seriously considering removing Vasseur, they're not just removing a team boss, they're detonating the foundation of the project they used to attract Hamilton in the first place. They're risking the confidence of a driver who came not just for podiums, but for a legacy-defining chapter, and in doing so, they may trigger a level of instability that no mid-season replacement, be it Cleta or anyone else, can possibly contain. Think about the timing we're approaching. A pivotal point in the season 2026 is looming with massive regulation changes and a chance to reset the pecking order. Barr cannot afford to enter that era in turmoil. They cannot afford to lose Hamilton's trust, nor Leclerc's patience, because if either of those two pillars starts to crack, the consequences won't be confined to this season. They'll echo for years. Cleta may bring structure. He may bring results from endurance racing. He doesn't bring the relationship Hamilton already has with Vasseur. He doesn't bring the continuity. This team desperately needs to climb out of its spiral, and right now, continuity is everything. Ferrari has tried. Reshuffles before, they've tried. Resets. New technical directors, new team principles, new philosophies. But what they've never had in this era is time to actually let something develop, and maybe that's what Hamilton is trying to buy them, a moment to breathe, to stabilize, to believe in a vision that doesn't involve panicking. After every failed weekend, he knows the car isn't where it needs to be. He knows the strategy calls have been poor, but more importantly, he knows how quickly the cracks in Ferrari's foundation can spread if pressure is applied from the top down. This story then is no longer just about whether Fred Vasseur keeps his job. It's about whether Ferrari can learn from the past or whether they're doomed to repeat it. And it's about whether Hamilton, who has stood by Vasseur publicly and passionately, is truly being heard within the walls of Maranello. or whether his loyalty, like so many promises at Ferrari, will go unrewarded. So stay with us, because this isn't just a moment of internal drama, it's a reckoning, a fork in the road for the most famous team in motorsport. And the decisions made in the next few weeks could shape not only the final races of 2025, the very DNA of Ferrari heading into the next era of Formula One. Smash that like button if you're as invested in this drama as we are. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single twist, and turn on the notifications, because what comes next could define everything.